everyone, this is Bev from Art by Bedell. I'm so happy to be back with you. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for joining me and supporting me. And today we have for Junk Journal January, day 26, prompt wordy. To begin with, I want to take some tissue paper. And this is some tissue paper I found at Hobby Lobby. And it is like a newsprint or something. Anyhow, I want to put that down on both sides of my page with some soft matte gel. Let's just get one piece here. And we'll tear about this much. And we'll divide that into two sections. I have one side that is the coffee stained copy paper and the other side that is a page out of a bird book. So I'm going to use this section and this section. I'll put this one over here for now. Get out our soft matte gel, and I'm going to coat this whole section over here with my soft matte gel. And then I will take my tissue paper and I'm going to crinkle it up. And then just squeeze it onto my page, keeping some of the crinkles if I can. There we go. So to start with, that adds some really cool texture to our page already. And then I'll go over it with a coat to make sure everything's stuck down really well. And if there are any bubbles, I'll just try rubbing them out, or rubbing them in, maybe I should say. Now let's do our bird page also. I'm not sure if I'll use both pages for my prompt today, but we're going to add it anyhow, and it will be nice for the next page. And this certainly fulfills our prompt already with wordy. And get that down once again. Sure everything is stuck. There we go. Loving all this texture, guys. I'm going to open this up just so that it doesn't stick to the page behind it. So I did get a little bit on there. And then it's all stuck down. I'm going to wash my brush so I don't forget to, and then I've ruined my brush. So I'll be right back. So that's partly dry, but I'm not going to wait till it's completely dry before I add some of my inks to it. I'm going to do some blue today, I think. And this one is Tumbled Glass. Now you can do this with spray inks that you make from acrylic paints, that you make from ink like the Bombay India inks. You can, of course, use the Distress Oxide. You don't have to use spray inks at all. You could use watercolors, just acrylic inks themselves, watered down and brushed on. Just use whatever you have, guys. There, blue and pink, that's pretty. But I'm going to take, it's got quite a bit of ink on it. I'm going to take my other page and I'm going to lay it on there and press it down and soak up some of that excess ink. So now we have them both colored. And now I will dry this. So the next thing I want to do is take my applicator tool here and my vintage photo ink and hit all the raised areas of both sides of these papers. So I'm just going to take my tool very lightly and just rub across here and hope that it picks up more of the raised areas than adding ink to the areas below. What a very cool random background that makes on there. Let's see how we do over on this side. So there it is. Now my next step on this wordy one is to add, and I think I'm probably only going to use one side. So being that I'm going to add a pocket, I'm going to add it to this side, and I'll save this page for another project. But I want to put a pocket on here to hold either some stationery or some journaling cards for my prompt. I have this piece of paper. It's a little too wide, so we'll tear it down. And then we'll ink up the edges of this also. I want to make this piece wordy also. So, you know me and my script stamp, here we go. Now, I did not worry about whether it stamped perfectly. I just wanted some random print on there, and I feel that that's what I got. And then that's going to be our pocket. How about we add some layers on top of that pocket? I have a scrap piece of a digital. I believe it's by My Porch Prints, and it's called the Dictionary Collage Dictionary or something like that. But I thought that would be pretty on here. Our pink doesn't show up real well, but it is here. And if we add it here, then it's going to make it a little bit bolder there. So behind that, I'm going to add a piece of textured or of ledger paper that has some beautiful handwriting on it. And we'll ink up around the edge of that also. And a piece of lace. It's coming along quite nicely. Very wordy. I was going to add something neutral in there, but that's too big. Let's see. That's better. I think that's good for our pocket. So I'm going to glue these down and then take it over to the sewing machine and give it a stitch. So I will be back. I seem to have this habit every now and then of getting ahead of myself, and I just did that now by making some things off screen. But I want to take this page and I want to trim off the excess, make this just a little bit neater. I mean, I wouldn't have to. That would be actually pretty cool to have that hanging over the edge, but we're just going to go ahead and snip this off. There, it just looks a little bit neater. And I also want to go around the outside edge of this with some ink. And I want to stitch around the outside edge. Have that complete, and trim off some of the tails on our threads here. That looks pretty good. And then I have my pocket that I had created, and I feel like it's missing like a focal point here on the outside. So I could do a quote. And I have this one by Abraham Lincoln that says, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." So we're going to add that onto our pocket. And of course that creates more words. And I'm going to put it put it down here. I want to see some of this pink. And if I put it up here, there's not much pink to be seen. So I'm going to also add a couple brads to that. And in keeping with the theme of the journal, we will use silver. And I have these silver ones that look like a screw head. So I'll take my little pokey tool here. Actually, I think I need something bigger. And we have several layers on this, so just poking a bigger hole isn't going to be an option. So I'm going to use my 1/8 inch punch on my crocodile here to punch a hole in this on both sides. Then I can put my brad through and not worry about tearing my paper. Oh goodness, we have to put it through our pocket also. Silly me. I thought when I was putting the brad through, I'm like, gosh, that's kind of silly. But anyhow, we will be okay. We're going to redo it here. Make sure I have the right size. 1/8 inch. There we go. Let's see if we can get in here too. That is a problem. We will just put this one side on, and then let's go to the other side and do what we can with our little pokey thing. And like I thought, it's pretty tough because there's so many layers. Persistence pays off though. Turn that around a little bit. And maybe we will have created enough space for that to get through. Good. There. Now we have those cool brads on. You might say, well, why didn't you do it to your page too? Well, it's because I didn't want the brads to show through on the other side. So there we have that. Then we'll take our pocket, and on the two short sides and the bottom length side here, we're going to add some glue and then glue our pocket down. Take a baby wipe and clean up some of this glue that oozed out. We have our pocket. Now for our thought of the day and our gratitude and our number. This is what I said, I got ahead of myself and I had an idea. Originally, I was going to put a piece of coffee stain copy paper in here, make a piece of stationery and have that in our pocket. And as I was cutting out my number, I got an idea to do this. So this is a piece of packaging and ledger paper, a scrap piece of some mixed media paper I had, and my numbers, and I glued them on and then stitched around them. And then on the back, I put gratitude. And that's going to be a journaling card for my gratitude. It's also going to hold my numbers, my date, the 26th. Then for the thought of the day, I just took another longer piece of packaging, tore it to whatever it turned out. I didn't care what shape. Added my thought for the day, stitched around it, and there's plenty of room for journaling there. So I will just fold this in half like this, and I will stick that down in my pocket also, like that. So our wordy prompt has been fulfilled with our tissue paper that we did first, with our little element here of dictionary paper from a printable, some ledger paper, and our quote, and more wording over here with our ledger paper. There we go, guys. How easy was that? Thanks for watching. You have a great day, and we shall see you tomorrow for the 27th prompt, which is earth tones. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.